What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another edition of Bardo's Breakdown. What's good, y'all? How's everybody's weekend? Holiday weekend? Everybody fat and happy? I know I ate good. I worked a little bit. Phase 51, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hope you guys had great fellowship with your family and friends safely, social distance with masks and whatever we needed to do to be safe as possible because we still are in a pandemic. But I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend like I did because I got a chance to work throughout the weekend. So it was really, really good. Want to get to some of the announcements that came out this week for the Big Ten. So no surprise here. Big Ten Player of the Week is Luka Garza. Luka Garza was outstanding, 33 points per game, dropped 42 of the easiest points that you'll ever see. 41 and 9 versus Southern University. Dropped an easy 41. I think he had 26 in the first half. He's such an efficient player. He only missed one shot. And so you think that he would take the gas off, but he doesn't. That's why he's a preseason player of the year. Luka Garza is doing big things. Excellent job by he and his Iowa Hawkeyes teammates, who many feel will contend for a Big Ten title and possibly a Final Four run this season. There were two co-Big Ten Freshmen of the Week, Zach Edey of Purdue and Adam Miller of Illinois. Both of them averaged just above 18 points per game. Adam Miller was outstanding in his first game versus Chicago State. Had 28 points, just had a coming out party. Zach Edey was very effective over the weekend in Purdue's games. They dropped one against Clemson, and they won another one that didn't write down. Escapes me right now. Jake Uphoff, M. Evans, 122 was good. Miss Evans, I am Aunt Honore, Mr. K. Harris. Good to see you guys. Thanks for jumping on. So these are your co-Big Ten Freshmen of the Week: Adam Miller from Illinois, Zach Edey from Purdue. Let's see. Let me get to the games to watch this week. These are going to be really, really high-level games. There's some really good ones on, but these are the ones that you really want to pay attention to. Michigan State at Duke. That's so we're talking tomorrow, 12-1, Michigan State at Duke. That'll be I believe the start of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. So that'll be a great one. Illinois versus Baylor on Wednesday. I'm not quite sure where that game is, but I believe that was scheduled to be a neutral site game. Jake Uphoff, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Illinois versus Baylor is going to be a fantastic game. A lot of people have both these teams have a chance to get to the Final Four this year. Baylor looks like they're the cream of the crop in the Big 12 conference. They will probably look like they can knock off Kansas and Texas Tech. And so that's going to be an outstanding matchup, Illinois versus Baylor. And then one of the most underrated rivalries in all of college basketball, but one of the best ones. I've been privy to cover a number of these games, Wisconsin and Marquette. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen one of these games, I don't care what the preseason prognosticators say. I don't care what they're ranked. This is always one of the more hotly contested and really good college basketball rivalries that you can see. So try to tune in Wisconsin at Marquette if you're not busy. So, yeah, those are really, really outstanding games that you want to watch for this week. Where's Bardo this week? So I've got LMU at Minnesota tonight. That's why I'm not going to talk long. I still got to do my pregame sauce, which is like 10 minutes. That's nothing. But I won't make this a longer show because I got a game tonight, LMU, Loyola Marymount at Minnesota. They played a couple days ago. Minnesota won. It was kind of a close game. Not kind of. Loyola Marymount was up in the first half, had some untimely turnovers, and Minnesota took advantage. Marcus Carr has been one of the more outstanding performers in the Big Ten as well. He's dropped 35 in his first game this year, and it really coming out very aggressive on the offensive end. A Game Podcast, what's good, fellas? Good to see you, Mr. J Travels. Thank you, Dr. DRS Renej. I don't ever get that right. I'm sorry, but thank you. Thank you for coming on. Let's see. George Mason, Ball State at Michigan will be Wednesday on Big Ten Network. All these games are on Big Ten Network. George Mason at Maryland on Friday. And then Seton Hall. Oh, what's up, Sydney? Good to see you. And Seton Hall at Penn State on Sunday. So Loyola Marymount, Minnesota tonight. Ball State at Michigan on Wednesday. George Mason at Maryland is an afternoon game. That is a 2 o'clock tip-off time, Central Standard Time. Ball State, Michigan will be 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Tonight's game is a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tip-off. And then Sunday, Seton Hall at Penn State will be a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time kickoff as well. Coach Stan Johnson, who is the head coach of Loyola Marymount. Glad you jumped on, Coach. Really looking forward to covering his team tonight. I've known Coach Johnson for a while. He was associate head coach at Marquette. Did a great job helping Steve Wojciechowski build that program up to a perennial Big East contender. And now he's got the Loyola Marymount, his own program, and he's doing a fantastic job on social media. Go follow him. Coach, put your social media handle in. I'll try to look it up while I'm doing this. But if you want to see one of the more colorful college basketball players in the country, Coach has one of them. Lepepe is his last name, Leapepe. If you go on Twitter, he's been trending quite a bit. He's got a unique hairstyle. He's a little bit undersized but he can shoot the three. He can do everything on the court. He can score in the interior, shoots the three, plays his ass off, plays hard, man. A kid you guys would really like to see. So make sure you tune in tonight for that one because that'll be good. Plus, Minnesota's better than people gave them credit for. They've got some impact transfers, Liam Robbins and also Booth Gotch. I'm going to say something funny on the air tonight. Y'all can kind of figure out what that is. But very interesting matchup tonight. LMU out of the West Coast Conference, Minnesota out of the Big Ten. Check it out. Those are where I'll be this week. All right. At LMU Coach Johnson. For all my people that aren't on IG, that are on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, go follow Coach Stan Johnson, Loyola Marymount head coach, at LMU Coach Johnson. He does a great job. He gets very creative, and he's telling his story. So I want you guys to go follow. Thanks a lot for that, Coach. All right, let me see what my tribe is talking about over here. Hey, Jill Brown Smith. Love the pregame videos before the Illini game. All right, thank you. I'm trying to get better, Jill. You know how it is. Trying to get better. I appreciate you though. Thanks for jumping in. Is Adam Miller a one and done? Says Kevin White. Kevin, I think it's a little premature to project Adam Miller's success at this level. Chicago State was underhanded. North Carolina A&T was kind of a little bit somewhat underhanded. And we got to wait and see what he does against better competition because no one is game planning for Adam Miller right now. Most people are game planning for Kofi Coburn, Ayo Dosunmu, Trent Frazier, those type of guys. He's on the scouting report, but I want to see those freshman players when they take their first move away or they take their go-to move away. I want to see how they respond in those scenarios because the referees haven't seen these freshmen play either, and so they're not going to get the benefit of the calls. I've seen some freshmen early on that get banged and they kind of look around like, man, that's a foul. Not really. It's an indoctrination into college basketball. So to me, it's premature to say if Adam Miller is going to be a one and done. Good question. based on his, he broke a freshman scoring record in his debut. He broke Brandon Paul's scoring record. So that's a great indication, but I think the jury's still out. But thank you for that question, Kevin. And always thanks, brother, for supporting the show. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job. Information giving you these nice young players. Keep it up, lifting yourself above the rest. I hope so. Thank you for that, Facebook user. You come up as a Facebook user. I don't see your name, but if I see your name, I will definitely shout you out. M Mather 777. Who you got? Illini or Baylor on Wednesday? Man, that's a toss-up. Baylor's elite. Illinois is elite. I haven't really seen Baylor this year yet, so I don't know. I know they've got one of the best defenders in all of college basketball. It's going to be interesting to see if he guards Io to start the game. They've got some size. So Kofi Coburn and Bashanis Veely up front may not. They definitely won't intimidate Baylor. They won't intimidate Baylor. So it's going to be a fantastic matchup, and it's a great matchup for both teams this early in the season, similar to Duke, Michigan State, similar to some of Gonzaga, Kansas. Villanova got upset by Virginia Tech, but it's early in the season. Virginia gets knocked off by San Francisco. Kentucky loses to a very good Richmond team. So I'm not sure who will win those games, but I love to see them this early on. Right on, Andrew Eisfeld. Prayers for Coach Collins. Coach Jimmy Collins, great coach at UIC. He was the head coach there. He was a longtime assistant at the University of Illinois for Lou Henson. Is having some health struggles right now, so please say a prayer for Coach Jimmy Collins. Not doing too well from a gastro procedure, I believe a week and a half ago, and he's kind of taking a turn for the worse. So anybody that can offer prayers for Coach Jimmy Collins, the Illini family, the Collins family, our family would greatly appreciate it. Andrew, thank you for bringing that up. I really appreciate that. Roberto Garcia, yeah, I think the Illini will do well against both teams. I don't know if they'll win or not. It's so early. Duke is so young, but Duke have a couple of studs, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Stewart from the Chicagoland area and Jalen Johnson, I believe is his name, from Milwaukee. 21 and 19, and then DJ Stewart almost had a double-double as well. I believe he had 25 and 9 rebounds in their debut. So Duke has reloaded with some uber talented freshmen. So how will the Illini do against them? I think they will fare well. The Illini are veteran. They're deep. They've addressed some of the issues that they had last year in terms of shooting the long-range jump shot. Adam Miller can do that very well. Trent Frazier seems like his confidence is back. DeMonte Williams has carried over from the end of last season where he was really shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. He hit a crucial three against Ohio that got them the lead within the last minute of the game. So I think the Illini, Roberto, will fare very well against both Baylor and Duke. And again, play the best that you can before you get in the conference so you know what you look like. Hey, it's worked for Tom Izzo for the last 23 years. And if you got the kind of team that can withstand that kind of night in, night out grind, why not? The Illini are poised to win a national championship, as are probably 9 to 10 other programs around the country. And 2 of those programs are Duke and Baylor. So great test for the Illini and great test for the Big Ten as they are going to enter into the Big Ten ACC Challenge here very shortly. Yep, I agree with you, M. Mather 777. Let's see here. How has it been calling games during the pandemic, and what do you think about MSU Duke tomorrow? Harold Shelton, my man, Sparty in the house. What's up, Harold? It's been an adjustment, Harold. It has been an adjustment. Harold and I work together and have worked together for years, and Harold knows that I see things at a game that a lot of analysts don't see. I'm not tooting my own horn. That's just facts. If you watch the games that I call, you'll see that I pick up certain things that a lot of people don't pick up. So, Harold, from that perspective, it's a little bit more difficult because the good thing is what BTN has done. I don't know if ESPN has done this, but what BTN has done is give us an extra monitor with the different camera shots. Now, I've never had that. 18 is strong. How you doing? Good to see you. So the extra monitor with the different camera shots is excellent. And so every now and then when there's a break in the action, if something just happened and I can glance like over here to this monitor and glance at the different camera angles, I may be able to pick up something. I've done that twice in the first 4 games. I picked up something when I glanced over. I saw something on Ohio's bench. I saw something on Illinois' bench during that game that I was able to relate into the broadcast. So although we'd love to be there in person, the fact that we even have college basketball going on right now, I'm pleasantly surprised with. If they made the decision that we didn't have sports right now, I would be totally fine with, because I err on the side of safety with COVID-19. It has impacted Black people that I know far more than any other thing. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. But with that being said, the fact that we do have games, it's as good as we can get it. And I love it, Harold. I absolutely love it. So, I hope that answered your question. But great question, brother. And good to see you. Can't wait to see you soon. That should be a good game. Baylor beat UW by almost 30. What's up, Baba Samori? Good to see you, brother. Online education specialist, Samori does some outstanding things. If you want to put your link in there, Samori, to let everybody see what you're doing, man, because he's doing some fantastic things. He's really been a confidant and a friend to me for some of the projects that you guys will see coming out around online education and some of the different things. He's really a mentor, but we're friends as well. So if any of you are interested in some of the offerings that he has, if Samori will put it up, I'll share it. But Baylor's tough. Baylor is tough. And Scott Drew, let's send well wishes to him. He contracted COVID. Baylor won their last game without him being present. So, get well soon, Coach Scott Drew of Baylor. And get back to your outstanding elite team, because when Illinois plays Baylor, we don't want any excuses. So y'all see how I did that, right? I went from analyst back to former Illini player real quick. Now I'm back to analyst. Y'all pick that up. Sleaze 2396, thanks for jumping on. Antonio Williams, what's good? What's happening, Antonio? Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on. We will definitely connect soon. Love what you're doing as well. I've been peeping you out on when you post on LinkedIn. So let me know if you guys are still doing that, but I definitely want to link up with you. Okay. The point series that Princeton offense, Richmond, and San Francisco are using. All right. So San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen, when they beat Virginia, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, came out of nowhere. San Francisco has been an upper echelon team of the West Coast Conference for the last 3 years. So I know fans thought, and it is an upset, but it wasn't that surprising. They take, yes, the Illini are back. Sleaze 2396, very much so. San Francisco, if you looked at the score, 61-60, Virginia was going to play a slower pace anyway. That's just how they played. Brian Ivory, what's good, brother? Good to see you on there. Thanks for jumping on. So that score, 61-60, is indicative of how both programs play. But San Francisco's legitimate. In terms of Richmond has played like that for a long time. And teams like Richmond, if they catch a young Kentucky team, which they did early in the season, Richmond has old men. They can go get their own alcohol. They don't need to find the older dude and slip them a 5 or 10 to go get them 40 ounces. They can do it. They're old. They know the system. They're not intimidated. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, none of these teams are going into Rupp Arena. into the Yum Yum Center, into the Breslin Center, into Rock Shock Jayhawk. They're not going into these venues with 15, 16, 19,000 screaming fans. These gyms are empty. So you got to bring your own level of energy. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing, I don't know if y'all are seeing it, but the Power 5 programs, the bigger programs come in with a little swag and act like they can't bring their own energy on the bench. Ohio University, big ups to Coach Bowles. They brought the energy and almost upset Illinois on their home floor because there is no home court advantage now. So the guys that are on the bench who are, reserves that come in and play or six man or whatever, they've got to be engaged. They've got to bring it for their teammates. And what's happening, what you're seeing is these Power 5 programs, these cats are too cool to be in school, right? Don't want to get up and bring energy, right? But then they're looking at these, quote unquote mid-major programs or smaller conference programs that come in and these guys are hooping and hollering and making noise. And the Power 5 schools are looking up the scoreboard like, damn, we're getting our asses kicked. So keep that in mind when you watch these early games. Don't be surprised by these upsets. Virginia Tech beating Villanova, which is, I don't know if that's really an upset. Virginia Tech is in the ACC. Positive Impact, New York in the house. What's good? Good to see you. I don't know if that's an upset because of the polls, but we know the polls don't really mean much at this juncture of the season. Kentucky losing at home to Richmond, that's an upset. I give you that. Virginia losing to San Francisco, I give you that. Gage Spigler, what's good? Good to see you guys. So keep that in mind when you're watching these games, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be surprised on these upsets, okay? Do you have any insights on recruiting a center to replace Kofi, says Roberto Garcia? Roberto, that's a great question because if I did, college basketball coaches would be paying me some money right now. So the kid, Brandon Lieb, I like him. The freshman 7-footer for Illinois. I like 6'10" kid from California. Chapman, I like him as well. I mean, he can face up. He handles the ball. He's 6'10". He's long. I think the Illini are fine. Now, there are no Kofi Coburns. There's only one Kofi Coburn in the college basketball. They don't come like that every year. Not 7 foot, 285 that can run like him, that's athletic like him. They don't come like that. Zach Edey and Purdue, they get quality bigs every year, right? They got Travion Williams. Now they got the co-freshman of the week, Zach Edey, who's 7'3", 7'4". They had Matt Harms, who transferred to BYU, 7'2", 7'3". They had Biggie Swanigan before that. But none of those guys were physically like Kofi Coburn. He's just unique. So, but I think the Illini have done a very good job of getting depth with their young players that they've recruited. They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Yes, Coach Collins is a Chicago legend. And, yes, we definitely need to pray for him. Yes, thank you, Carol Paul-Paquette. How about Richmond and St. Louis U out of the A-10? Those two teams are going to be fun to watch. Yes, they are. Richmond pulled off the upset. St. Louis, Jeff, remind me who St. Louis beat. I don't remember, but A-10 is always excellent. I don't really like the mid-major moniker. I don't like that. I don't really like that. M Mathers 777 has a great point. With the transfer waiver next year, I think a lot of quality bigs will want to play for Illinois. What M Mathers is referring to, ladies and gentlemen, is the rule this year. Everybody can have their eligibility back the next season because the NCAA made a preemptive move, which they've been doing here lately. I've been very critical of the NCAA, but I like these measures that they've come out with. And the fact that all these players can get their eligibility back next year is wonderful for the current players. It's going to be difficult on the incoming freshmen. So that's something to watch out for. But good point there by M. Mathers. Oh, thank you, Shannon Davis. Shannon Davis, one of the original tribe members. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time coming on Bardo's Breakdown, you'll see Jeff Jarvis, Carol Poquette, Shannon Davis, Kevin White, Jeff Jarvis, some of my other folk in here, Jill Brown Smith, Rico Mowat, JP. I've got a very, very vibrant tribe. That's just I gave the name tribe because they're part of the Bardo's Breakdown family tribe. They come strong and don't come at all. So if this is your first time on, come strong to the paint because you'll get that shit thrown if you come weak. That's what we do on Bardo's Breakdown. So come strong with your questions because if you send a weak question up, I'm not going to say anything. The tribe's going to eat you up. All right? So you noticed those kicks on extra screen during the Illinois call. Those are definitely man, Jeff. You're talking about Corbello, Andre Corbello from Illinois. Y'all, he has some dope Nikes, and we zoomed in on him. He had some kind of artist create a covering for a shoe. Man, it was dope. It was so sweet. And then he goes and rolls his ankle. I was like, we get funny about that announcer's jinx. We don't like to put the announcer's jinx on people. And so Andre Corbello, I hope that you're fine. I didn't mean to put the jinx on you. I just loved your shoes, bro. Like, to me, I'm calling Andre Corbello Digital Underground. He looks like Humpty Hump, right? And I didn't really want to say that on the air. I mentioned Digital Underground. I didn't want to say that on the air because I didn't want the young fella to get, maybe upset because maybe he doesn't know who Digital Underground is, one of the funkiest groups to ever grace that time period. Don't get me started. I'll put my Humpty nose on and we can get the Humpty dance going, y'all. That's my time, right? So that's a show of affection and that's a positive thing that I'm gonna start calling him Humpty Hump because he's got the hair, he's got the pork chops, right? And he got swag. He's Boricua. He's got some swag to him. My man Terrence telling me he's Long Island strong. So, there it is. So dope shoes. Thank you, Jeff Jarvis, for that catch. Dope shoes, man. And these dudes, I love the college coaches. What's up, Nikki Lane Perkins? They're letting these dudes have their own shoes. Do y'all know how hot the Flying Illini? We still hot 30-something years later. Do y'all know how hot we would have been had they let us design those Converse that we wore? Come on, man. We were already the dopest team in that era. We didn't even win a national championship. We were still the coldest team in that era. We had the baggy shorts, and we played a specific way. But if we could have had the kicks, come on, man. Y'all wouldn't have been able to tell me nothing. Let me see. Yeah, that was a great. Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Tupac was a member of Digital Underground early in Mathis. Early. You're right. He was on some of the early stuff. Carol Popaquette on hold with the doctor. Here's Baba Samari, KamalaAcademyStore.com. KAMALI AcademyStore.com. If you guys want online educational resources, I'm telling you, go to his store and check out his offerings. He's been doing it. Baba Samori was one of the early people in the game. So he's been at this for a little bit. He's not new to this. So his stuff is very well developed. He does a lot of things around the world. He's not just in the United States. Go check him out, KamalaAcademyStore.com. KAMALI AcademyStore.com. Thank you for that, Brother Samori. What's up, Captain Fletcher? Good to see you, Captain Fletcher, another tribe member. Let's see. The lack of audience has to be affecting those young players. I wouldn't think short-term effects, but definitely long-term for those who continue. Now that's an interesting observation. Brian Ivory is checking me here because my man said, look, man, stop. The shorts got it started. Can't add the kicks. It would murder the game. All right. Fair enough, Brian. That strong statement there. Brian Ivory is one of the tribe members as well, one of Chi-Town's finest. If you've ever been to Ja Grill, you've seen and met Brian. Look, Lou Henson used to have the same. There's my man right there. Lou Henson right there. Let me see if I can get my IG people to see. There's my man, Lou Henson right there. Lou Henson had a saying, you're only worth the salt in your bread. Meaning that people are only as good as their character. And Brian Ivory, in my opinion, you're not going to find anybody with bigger character than that. And if y'all want some dope Jamaican food, oh my gosh, Ja Grill, if they start offering stock, I'm getting some because I try to get in there once a week. And Brian Ivory's in the line eye, so don't get it twisted. But if you're in Chicago and you make it down to Ja Grill, J-A Grill, I'm telling you, you will come back on this show and be like, man, why didn't you tell us about this earlier? I'm trying to tell y'all, Ja Grill, Hyde Park, Chicago. Ask for Brian Ivory. He is the manager there. He's the man that runs it. Okay? Check him out. All right. The lack of audience, to me, the lack of audience is affecting the older players more than it's affecting younger players. Because especially in a conference like the Big Ten that has led the nation in attendance the last 41 consecutive seasons. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. The Big Ten Conference has led the nation in men's basketball attendance for 41 consecutive seasons. So these guys bank on having home games when their crowd can get all over you. These are some of the most intimidating venues in all of college basketball. Yes, Louisville, Syracuse, Duke, Kansas. I know I'm leaving some venerable places out that are very tough to play, but the Big Ten has their share, right? Those guys are used to that home court juice. They're used to going on the road and feeling like the villain. I loved being on the road, feeling like I loved playing on the road more than I did at home because I wanted to shut the crowd up. I wanted to do something to put them back on their backsides on the seat. That's the sweetest sound in sports to me, is when your team makes a great play down the stretch, you take the lead and you sit the crowd down. That was unbelievable. So to me, it affects the older players more than the younger players because the younger players are coming from an AAU situation. They're used to being in empty gyms, playing high-level competition, having college scouts watch their games. They're used to that. College players have gotten used to being in 15, 18, 20,000 seat venues. So I actually think it affects the older players more than younger players. I love that question, though. Facebook user, whoever that was, thank you for that. Great question. Steve Dockery. That's going to be a good one. Yes, that Duke game. Okay, Captain Fletcher says next year Michigan has one of the best recruits. Look out for Frankie Collins. I'm going to tell you what. Michigan's two recruits, Hunter Dickinson and Terrence Williams, saved Michigan in overtime against Oakland last night. Don't look at the record for Oakland University, Greg Campy's team. They were 0-3. They've had all kind of COVID issues. I think I want to say I heard maybe Coach Campy just came back from having COVID. They're 0-3. So they've had the stuff run through their team. That's not an 0-3 team that played Michigan last night. That was a confident. That was a team that played their tail off last night. And if it wasn't for Terrence Williams and Hunter Dickinson, the two freshmen that took over the game in overtime, Michigan would have won that game. So Jawan, to your point, Captain Fletcher, is doing an outstanding job of recruiting outstanding talent to Michigan already. So this young man, Frankie Williams, is going to do nothing but add to the mix. Let's see here. I'm going to wrap up here in a second. Okay, this is another tribe member. Adam Stovall always brings it. Will Adam Miller and Io be able to coexist throughout the season? And Io has established himself as the alpha. Corbello is nice, but has a little bit too much mustard on his hot dog when he's making his passes in transition. You know what, Joe? A lot of times, players like Corbello, they have to understand that this game is much faster, right? It's much more physical. And what happens is Corbello, I saw it in his first, because I had a line at first 3 games. Andre would get too deep penetration. He'd get too deep in the paint. And in high school, he could jump up in the air and make something happen, right? Can't do that in college. And so he had a lot of unforced turnovers because he's got swag, he's got ability, but he's got to learn how to apply that at the college level, and that just takes time. Adam Miller and Io DeSumo, in my opinion, Joe, won't have any problems. Io was the man when they won the state championship, and Adam was a sophomore. It's no different. Adam comes in. He had a big, he set a freshman record for scoring in his first game. But the man is Io DeSumo. I don't think there's any question about that. Do you think the Big Ten is the strongest conference this year? Yes, I do, Captain. The Big Ten was the strongest last year. It's the strongest this year. Man, see, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I love the tribe, because I was going to come on here for 15, 20 minutes because I got a game to call tonight and I got a pregame sauce I got to do. But they're so good, I gotta give it to them. Yes, the Big Ten is the strongest conference in the country for the second year in a row. And some think that it's deeper this year than it was last year. Donovan Lane, now he's the original tribe member. What's good, Donovan? Thank you, brother. He's in Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all figure out the time difference. And he gets on here as often as possible. And his sister, Nikki Lang Perkins, is on IG. So Nikki and Donovan, brother and sister, they're original tribe members. They keep it cracking. All right. Kofi Coburn is 7 foot tall, 285 pounds, Donovan. Brad Underwood, head coach of Illinois, said he's an elite runner. You don't typically hear that among, college coaches talking about bigs who were freshmen. He said this before Kofi played a game last season, and he can run the floor as well as any big in the nation. He is extremely talented. All right. Jeff Jarvis just said it. Facebook users belong in the tribe. They come strong, throwing sharp elbows in the paint. See, Jeff Jarvis grew up in Cedar with me. That's how we learned how to play. You come in the paint area, ladies and gentlemen, that's open. That's hand-to-hand combat. Don't come weak. Look at this. Now, this is the really good thing. Appreciate the pregame sauce. Helps us focus on certain aspects of the game. Nikki Lang Perkins, thank you so much. Nikki, shoot me a suggestion if you think I can get better at that. Is there key to the game? I try to give you guys a couple players to look out for and kind of trends. But if there's something that you'd like to see in addition to what I'm doing, let me know, because I really appreciate your feedback and appreciate your support on that. Carol Popaquet says, just jump back on. What bothers me is reading Illini fans' negative comments on other websites about the game against Ohio. I told my boys this on Tuesday. Ohio is not going to be a pushover. They're going to give us a game, but I didn't think it would come down to the last two possessions. Thank you, Nikki. Carol Popaquette, thank you for that question. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Do you ever know, especially on Twitter, that the negative people are the loudest? Right? You can get interaction from 50 people, but the three jerks that stand out will get everybody's attention. That's one of the negative aspects of social media that I don't particularly care for. Oh, Kevin Duffy. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you. Kevin Duffy's on IG. A lot of times he's over here on Facebook, but he caught up with us on IG. Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? So when you Carol Popaquette used to play ball herself. She's very knowledgeable. So Carol, I want you sometimes when you go on those comments, I know it's hard. Take your Illini fandom off and look at the comments through the eye of a former player like you are. And you'll see sometimes people are trolling or they're trying to get a rise out of people because they hate their lives. They hate themselves. So when you see those comments, don't pay too much attention to it. Look at the body of work and then go from there. But don't get caught up on that negativity stuff because it doesn't. It's just people out who hate themselves and want to lash out at something else. So take pity for them, pray for them, and then keep it moving. Kevin McDuffie says Illinois needs to push the ball against Baylor and not let them set up their half-court defense. That's a great call, Kevin, because Baylor's defense, they might have the best defense in the country. They're an elite defensive squad. And so the Illini, if they can get the easy looks early, they're definitely going to do that, Kevin. That's a very good call. Okay. One of my tribe members, I don't know why he does. E. Wells, 678. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for showing up. Always appreciate your support. Stephen, I'm on through Facebook, and our messages are always coming up as Facebook used strange. Okay. Shannon Williams is another tribe member. See, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all are on here for the first time. You can see the engagement that we get. IG is coming along too. And I get great engagement from my people on IG and from Facebook, Periscope, and all that, right? YouTube. So you can see that these people are knowledgeable. So if you guys know people that love college basketball and they want to have knowledgeable conversations and they want to talk, tell them to join Bardo's Breakdown. You go to Bardo's Breakdown on Facebook, go to the page or go to the group because I go live in both. All right. And then I'll show you some things that you can join the tribe through text. Okay. Let me see. Let me put that up so you guys can see that. Hold on. Let me clear this. But let me put this up. So you guys on IG, if you want to join the tribe, text 312-847-2739. That's 312-847-2739. So that'll do it. I do college basketball on Monday, 3 p.m., NBA Tuesdays, 3 p.m. So I'll come back with the pregame sauce in about an hour that leads up into Loyola Marymount at Minnesota on Big Ten Network, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. Check us out if you get a chance. Let me put this up here. That's where you can find Bardo's Breakdown, facebook.com/Bardos with an S, Bardos Breakdown. That's where you can find it. Please join. I'd love for this to grow because you guys are knowledgeable people who love the game. That's all we are. I just get paid to talk about it, but this online platform is amazing because you guys teach me as well as me providing the platform to have this discussion. So I love you all. So thank you so much for jumping on. Like I said, in about an hour, I'll have a quick pregame sauce to preview the Loyola Marymount Minnesota game tonight. Then I'll be on at 7 o'clock. And then tomorrow, we'll be back on 3 p.m. for Bardo's Breakdown NBA special. Not special, but NBA show. We'll update the free agency signings. The New Orleans Pelicans I did not know they got Steven Adams. Oh, my goodness. Phoenix, Atlanta did great. I tell you what, New Orleans Pelicans, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Until next time, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.